I feel like dancing right now. Come on, man. Come on, Willie. Come on, Willie. Come on, Willie. Come on. Help him come on up here. Listen, we've been praying for this young man. He's been going to 7:30 service at Greater Grace and coming here ever since we opened, giving at both churches. We've been praying. We've been laying hands. He hasn't missed a thing. He's been in the hospital 8 weeks, 2 months straight. He's been in the hospital. Before that, he was in the hospital with heart attack. He had cancer. He defeated all those things. But this time, this thing was about to take him out of here. They had to cut him open, crack his chest open. But I'm going to let him tell the story. But he's here today after knocking on death's door. Somebody say, oh, death, where's your sin? Oh, grave, where's your victory? Hey, hey. We should have been at a funeral, but somebody said, but God. Y'all don't hear me. Somebody holler, but God. Somebody holler, but God. Come on, man.
I'd like to say praise the Lord to everyone that's here, and I'm very thankful for my name being mentioned in the prayers that went out and the support. I'd like to thank everybody that came to the hospital to be a part of my healing. My brothers, Anthony, Kim, my sons, Matt, Martin, even Willie. He flew in from out of town, Melvin, Michael. Everybody came, and I really needed that. It was just very good support. A lot of times when people came, they thought that I was under sedation, but I really wasn't. I heard everything and seen everything that came in that hospital room. Prior to me going to Henry Ford's, I was over at Providence. So I'm not going to get into that. I want to get into letting you know exactly what the Lord did for me. All right. Might get a little sentimental doing this, but when you know the Lord is performing a miracle, whew, you can't do anything but throw your hands up. Now, let me say this because I'm going to be very honest about it. And I spoke to my sister, I spoke to my sons. I'm really not supposed to be here. Hallelujah. I had already told my kids, I don't want no respirator, I don't want to be on no machine. If the Lord don't see fit to heal me, I'm gone. And I said, I didn't have a problem with it because I went to church when I could, and when I couldn't go, I couldn't go. So it came a time that I couldn't go, so I was okay with that. My Lord. So let me just get into just a little bit. My brother sent me a text talking about you got 15 minutes. Okay? This didn't take place in 15 minutes. But that was the text that I got. But I understand he's got to bring the word. But I'm going to bring a word too. All right, prior to him bringing a word. All right. So look, I just want to let you know how this thing went. And again, just imagine, because I even thought about it myself. I'm supposed to be dead. My people were supposed to have my funeral, and we were supposed to move on. My kids got together, my family and my wife, and said, man, there's other options. And I said, no. I say, look, I don't see some of that stuff on television, and I really don't want to be a part of it. I said, as much as I went to church and over at Calvary and paid my tithes and supported people at the hospital, if God see fit not to make that heart tick, I'm okay with it. Every time I went into surgery with a smile. Yes, Lord. Because again, I was okay with it. Whether I come out or whether I didn't come out, I was really okay with it. And a lot of people I spoke to before they had their surgery, because some of them didn't make it. There was families that was crying and hooping and hollering because a lot of their parents and grandparents just didn't make it through. I was okay with that too. You know, I said, well, we'll just keep him in our prayers because prayer go places that we can't.
Amen.
So, leaving Providence, we got a chance to meet Dr. Williams. My heart doctor, he'd done all what he could do, so he got in touch with Dr. Williams. She's a big doctor at Henry Ford. She came and she talked to me and said, sir, is it something that you really would be interested in? And I told her, I said, well, I don't make promises to my kids and my family, so I'm going to go on with this pump. They had to put a pump on the left side of my heart. On the right side of my heart, it wasn't given the throttle that they thought I needed to circulate the blood. So I said, well, yeah, I'll go ahead and do that. I didn't know that putting a pump on was just like, doing heart surgery. I had no idea. But it's really the same thing. And had I known that, I probably would have told my kids, I'm not going through that. But I didn't know. And I'm not in charge. God is in charge.
Amen.
So I went on and said, okay, let's go ahead and do it. They transferred me over to Henry Ford. Got a chance to meet the PCAs and the nurses. They always nice. I met so many doctors. They was nice. But I never was worried about the surgery. I was over there for a week and a half. They was prepping me and getting me ready and telling me, Brother Green, they said that heart is under 10%. And I knew that wasn't good. So I said, well, just let me know when you guys getting ready to have the surgery, when we going to do this. And I was studying losing weight. I had came down from 220, and I had came down to 200. So the first thing I was worried about was I was going to be heavy enough and fit enough to have this surgery. So a few more days went by. I noticed I was 188. I said, they better come on. I said, because it ain't going to be nothing left. So I think the day that I had the surgery, I had to be probably 160-something. And that's a long ways when you 220 pounds. But again, going into the surgery, I didn't know God had already prepared a way for me. He had already opened up a door, and he had closed up a door. I didn't know this. I didn't know that the decision that he wanted me to take was to have the surgery. So I went on and I had the surgery, and I come out, and y'all know that God will send you an angel. I had an angel coming by to visit me every day. Just come out of nowhere. Her name is Dana Byers. A lot of you guys might know her. She works at the hospital. She peeked her head in there and she said, well, they called me Sonny. She said, Sonny? I said, yeah. She really didn't know me because I had lost so much weight. Bones was showing. Skin was rolling up. And I'm telling you, I've never seen myself like that. So even today, it's a process. But Dana came 3 and 4 times a day at the hospital to check to make sure everything I needed, I had. And I say, Lord, I thank you for the angel because I had no idea that you would do that. But again, when you do what you're supposed to do, God will do what he's supposed to do. And he came through and he really blessed me. And again, I had support from my sister Cookie. I don't know what happened to Walter. I was asking about Walter. They say Walter was working. Gary, he came by, and like I had so much support. My brother Charles and my sister-in-law Sylvia, they was all there. I even got a visit from Cynthia. I think Cynthia was with, I think Mike's wife. I can't think of their last name right now. Yeah, I think she was with her, and they all came by and stopped. But I'm telling you, let me get into this because I'm not trying to take up the preacher's time. But again, I just want to show you, when you do what you're supposed to do, God will do what he's supposed to do.
Amen.
So I went into surgery and I came out, and I had my arms were tied and my feet was tied up. I had a tube on the right, tube on the left. I also had a tube down my throat. Then they end up putting, I forgot what it's called, something in my neck that connects to my heart. And I'm telling you, I was bound, tied up, and I say, Lord, I didn't plan for all of this. This was not in my plan. I said, but I'm okay. I say, as long as I know you with me, I'm going to try to fight this battle, because I know at the end of the road, you got a door open for me.
Hallelujah.
So I don't know if there's anybody in this room that has been through something like that, but I wouldn't wish that. I always say it, and I say it today, I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy, what I had to go through to get here. And it's still a process because we're still working on it. And I'm telling you, I know for 2.5 days that I was conscious. This was all the air I got. I was breathing that in. That was it. That was all the air I got. And I heard everybody talking. I heard the doctors and nurses talking about, oh, I just bought my daughter a Cadillac. And I just gave her money to go to school. I heard all of that. And here I am. So I told the Lord, I said, look, I'm ready to move on. I said, you got to take these, you got to get somebody over here and take these tubes out of me. Because I think I feel good enough to be able to breathe on my own. And the Lord blessed me. And I told him, the Bible, when you look at the Bible said when the Lord done something, he done it immediately. Wasn't no waiting in there. So I got me a couple. And I'm telling you, let me say this. When you're in the hospital, you better have a couple of scriptures to stand on.
All right.
Because if you ain't got that, when you're in that room by yourself that you can call on and hold the Lord to it, you in trouble. So anyway, I started praying and I started repeating scriptures. And next thing I know, they was coming. They said, well, Mr. Green, we're gonna pull the tube out on your left side. You should breathe better. So they came and they popped it out. I said, well, Lord, I thank you because the breathing is a little bit better than what it was. Got back down there again. I said, Lord, I need another one of these things pulled out because the air is okay, but it ain't what it should be. So next thing I know, they came out and pulled the one out on the right. And that was pretty good, but still not good enough because I had that thing lodged down my throat. So I said, Lord, here go the big one. I said, get them people over here so they can take this thing out of my throat. I don't need this thing in my throat. They tried once, and they couldn't get it. Well, they could have got it, but they didn't get it. They were like younger kids, a younger generation, and they didn't get it out. So they came back a little bit later that day. This older doctor, he came in. And I'm telling you, he just pulled the thing right out. They was acting like it was a big deal, but he pulled it right out, and I say, ooh, Lord, thank you. I'm telling you, when you call on him, and you call on him in the right way, he'll be right there for you. So again, I just want to thank the saints for their prayers and their support, because I know I couldn't have made it without them, and I know the Bible says where 2 or 3 or more is gathered, he'll be in the midst. And I'm going to tell you, he was in my midst. Hallelujah. Right now, it's still a process that I'm going through. I'm on batteries, and I'm electrical. I always tease my wife. I say, now, don't get mad at him and pull that plug out the wall. I say, because if you do, that's it, So I'm on batteries, and I'm on electrical, and I'm telling you, this is a big adjustment. Hallelujah. But I'm okay with it because this is what the Lord has provided, but I'm here. I'm able to talk to you guys. I'm able to see you. I'm able to go out to lunch and enjoy myself. Hallelujah. But again, I thank everybody for their support. I really appreciate it. Just keep me in your prayers because what I'm going through is a process. Yes. So pray for me while I pray for you. Thank you.
Hallelujah. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord.
Come on, put your hands together and give God a praise.
Thank you, Lord.
Come on, we can do better than that.
Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. Glory.
Come on, we can do a little bit better than that.
Hallelujah. Thank you, Lord.
Glory.
We could have been meeting for a funeral.
Thank you,
Glory,
Lord.
glory, glory, glory.
Thank you, Lord.
I went to visit my brother before I went to the convention. And he was talking to me about his funeral arrangements.
Thank you, Lord.
Telling me how he wanted his funeral done, where he wanted to have it at.
Thank you, Lord.
Telling me that I know you and Bishop Ellis get everything together
My Lord.
just in case. So even when I went to the convention, I had my brother on my mind and I kept calling back because he wasn't sharing that information about how he was feeling with everybody. So when I got back from the convention, I went back down there right before surgery. It didn't look good.
But God.
Didn't look good at all. I'm not that much of an emotional person, but when you see your big brother, your older brother, who's always been a strong man like my dad, strong, take anything. But his chest looked like ribs that you get at the grocery store. And you could see the tubes running through his body underneath his skin. Could barely talk. That's why I told him 15 minutes, Dennis, because he'll talk all day now. But no matter what he was saying to me far as funeral arrangements, I wasn't hearing God say it was over. Because I know the prayers that we have prayed in this place.
Yes.
And the prayers that we prayed in this place, God always said, I'm going to do it.
Yes. Yes.
So we're rejoicing in the Lord because what the Lord has done.
Yes.
Put your hands together and give God a praise.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Now, while we was gone, Monica, to the convention, maybe it was last week when we went up to Ben Harbor, Greg and some of his comrades had devised a plan to sneak an organ into Calvary.
Hallelujah.
Thank you, Lord.
Hallelujah.
Thank you, Lord.
Now, Yvonne, me and Greg been talking about this sound, talking about an organ for over a year and a half now, and they are very expensive. So his brother, who builds the instruments, sent one over us for us to try for a little while and see how we like it.
Amen.
I love Greg, I love Jonathan, because these brothers was with us from day number one.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Jonathan was playing with just the snare. He didn't have no pedal. He didn't have. He had a snare and a tambourine. Greg was playing on a $300 keyboard, and they have not stopped, not one day. They have been a blessing to Calvary. And the thing I like about them, they got the spirit of the house. I don't have to tell them nothing. They got the spirit of the house. When we got folks on one accord, it means everything in the house of God. So just for a few minutes, Greg, let us hear how that thing sounds. chapter number 3. Lord, prepare me to be a sanctuary.
Prepare me to be a sanctuary.
Malachi is the last book in the Old Testament.
Pure and holy.
Everyone stand to your feet.
Tried and true.
With thanksgiving,
With thanksgiving,
I'll be a living
I'll be a living
sanctuary.
sanctuary.
Lord, for you. Come on, everybody open up your mouth and sing with it.
Lord, prepare me to be a sanctuary,
Pure and holy,
pure and holy,
tried and true.
tried and true.
With thanksgiving,
With thanksgiving, I'll be a living
sanctuary.
sanctuary.
Lord, for you.
Lord, for you.
Come on, open up your mouth, Calvary. Let's sing it to the heavens. Lord, prepare me to be a sanctuary, pure and holy,
Pure and holy,
tried and true,
tried and true.
with thanksgiving, with thanksgiving, I'll be a living,
I'll be a
living sanctuary.
sanctuary.
Lord, I love you for you.
Lord, for
Open your mouth, Calvary. This time without the music, open your mouth. Lord, prepare me. Come on, Calvary. To be a sanctuary, pure and holy, pure and holy, tried and true, tried and true, with thanksgiving,
with thanksgiving,
I'll be a living
I'll be a living
sanctuary.
sanctuary.
Lord, for you.
Lord, for
Last time. Lord, prepare me. Lord, prepare me to be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true, with thanksgiving, I'll be a living
I'll be a living
sanctuary.
sanctuary.
Lord, for you.
Lord, for you. Lord, for you.
Malachi chapter 3.